All right, South Africa, it's 2 minutes after 1. It's lunchtime here on ENCA. You're watching All Angles on a Friday. A very good afternoon. My name is William Lahong. It's that time of the day when we give you an update on how far some of these stories we have been following for you have advanced. In fact, your lunchtime update starts right now. Our lunchtime update with ENCA reporters Bafedile Moerane and Moloko Moloto. Bafedile, welcome to the program. Let me start with you. What is the situation on the ground at this point as we are seeing a high police presence at the City Council?
Well, William, at this point in time, the situation is quite calm, as I would say, but hundreds and hundreds of workers from the city of Tshwane are still gathering outside the City Council offices here, having to say that they want to have some word with the leadership of the municipality in relation to their demands of the salary increase. We know that it is 3 weeks today. It's about 3 weeks, really, workers having to say that they want an increase backdating to 2020, and the municipality is saying that you know very well that we are bankrupt, we don't have financial means at this point in time to can assist you. But this morning we understand that trade union COSATU had organized a march to come and support Municipal Workers Union SAMU, being in solidarity with them, in fact, to say that let us go and march to the city of Tshwane to engage with the municipality leadership to hear as to why at this point they have in fact expelled about 100 workers who have participated in this illegal strike, illegal demonstration. So the march was postponed because the city could not grant COSATU permission to come here. So at this point in time, there, William, we're seeing a high police visibility at this municipality. I will ask you, my colleague, to having to show our viewers there. You're seeing the police nyalas being accompanied by the police vans, the public or the police from Johannesburg here. And we spoke to some of the workers earlier on, William, who are saying that they're very much adamant and they want their money. Let's have a listen to what they really said to us.
City of Tshwane. City of Tshwane, Erikolota 3.5%, Erikolota 5.4%. So from 2021, there's an increase. So hora rona re tshwanele le masipala emeng. So re nyaka tšhelete eo, and brinki a sa re fe tšhelete ya rena. A hona ko re yang mereko ngona a re yi until a re fa tšhelete ya rena. Ha e fetsa o clock kona mo le hore re tseya di property tsa rena re ya mmerekong e fella mo. Thank you sis.
Rona re nyaka tšhelete khale re bereka masipala di pay slip tsa rena a di khupori re berekela fela for mahala so re lapile.
Masipala wa re wa le
Of course, Moloko, let me come to you now. Officer Thabo Musia was back on the witness stand today. What came out of the proceedings?
Well, Wara will just less than a kilometer away from where my colleague Bafedile Moerane is. Along Madiba Street, you find the High Court in Pretoria. This is where we are. We heard on day 3 on the witness stand for Sergeant Musia, Thabo Musia, who was there on the house, the Kumalo house, on the night Senzo Meiwa was killed. Primarily, he was there to take or record, make an assessment of the crime scene and also record the exhibit that he would have found, including doing swabs for DA analysis later. So today, cross-examination continued, done by Advocate Zitulele Ngumalo, who represents one of the accused here. Now, the bone of contention here, you would recall, Will, that yesterday the gentleman, Mr. Musia, told the court that he did not swap the door for the kitchen, the very same door that was used allegedly by the two intruders to come into the house and also to exit. And his reasons were that a lot of people, the occupants in the house, had already touched that particular door. He felt that it would not really help that much. Now, today he revealed that he also did not swap the door of the bedroom in which one of the people who were in the house, actually a friend of Senzo Meiwa's, Mr. Tumelo Madlala, who told the court that when the first gunshot went off, he ran into that particular bedroom. So Mr. Musia told the court today that he did not really take the swab there because, according to him, there was no need. He essentially doesn't necessarily follow what he calls the victims. Instead, he follow the perpetrators. But let's listen to him in his own words as to why he did not do swabs in that particular bedroom.
Warrant officer, the reason why I'm concerned about the bedroom where you did not take swabs is because there is evidence before this court that Tumelo Madala, after the gunshot went off, he ran into that bedroom where you did not take swabs.
Ya bona he hona le bopaki bo tsweng khotleng la dinyewe mona hore itse ha o khoma sethunya khatla pele eno a Tumelo Madlala ke ha mathela ka phapusinyane ya ho robala e leng hore wena ha wa ka wa etsa di swap go yona
ke lebisa ho fuputsa haka ho batatlapi e seng batho ba fihlileng ka ba tholahetseng ka mo victim.
My investigations are actually directed towards the perpetrators more than the victims. Manje ke ushuthi mina mangipenya angiphenyi isu ngiphenya laba ke abangeneleli khona lapha endlini.
So it not occurred to you that the witnesses might be suspects?
Hawa ka phaetsala ho wena hore ina haneng tweno hore di paki e ka ba babelaelwa
ho jwalo morena
hawa etsahala it didn't.
That's ENCA reporters Bafedile Moerane and Moloko Moloto live to us from Pretoria this afternoon. It's 10 minutes into the lunchtime update here at ENCA. Let's move on to this now. The Govender brothers, who have been found guilty of assault and attempted murder, have each been sentenced to 7 years behind bars. This for the role they played in the 2021 July unrest when KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng were plunged into riots that left hundreds of people dead. In fact, the protests followed the imprisonment of former President Jacob Zuma for contempt of court. Lethu Mdluli has filed this report from court for you.
The Govender brothers have been sentenced to 7 years imprisonment by Judge Kruger. But just to give us more information on the sentencing today, I'm now joined by the NPA's Natasha Kara. Natasha, thank you so much for joining us at ENCA this morning. You know, we heard a lot from the judge when he was giving that sentence today. Can you just explain to us what took place inside?
Sure. The sentencing proceedings did continue in the Durban High Court today. The accused in the matter were convicted of assault GBH, assault common, as well as attempted murder, and for that they received an effective sentence of 7 years imprisonment. The court also found them unfit to possess firearms. Interestingly as well, the court dismissed their application for leave to appeal on their convictions.
You know, we heard from the judge as to why he dismissed those two applications made by their lawyers or their representatives today. He gave some very extensive evidence as to why he was dismissing that application. Take us through that.
Well, basically, the defense in their arguments or to court mentioned that they respectfully submitted that the court may have erred in its the handling of certain evidence that was handed before court. However, the judge presiding over the matter found differently.
You know, this matter has been ongoing since 2021. Effectively, the brothers handed themselves over back in 2021 when they were accused of being a part of a group that assaulted a few people that were in Phoenix during the riots. Take us through the whole case. It was a very long process for us to get here. What happened during those court proceedings? We know that back in May, the two brothers were found not guilty of murder, but instead of attempted murder. The judge did state that the state failed to prove beyond reasonable doubt that the brothers actually killed Majola, who was found walking in Phoenix back in the day. Just take us through what happened during court proceedings all this time.
Well, firstly, I think it's important to note that matters of this nature do take long to come to court, and rightfully so. If you look at the evidence that was dealt with in court, it was video evidence. That has to be made admissible to court, firstly, and secondly, for the state to unpack that information, and also to basically have that information within their grasp. So that is basically how we got to today. The judge in court did mention as well that the men had spent about 8 months in custody during that time, and the processes were followed as to any other court case, including the bail application, which was a lengthy one, and here we are today.